found real life, yeah, I found real life. I found it, I found it. I need something to satisfy. I need you to put me together, I'm broken. All in my head and I can't even focus. I wanna live and I go through the motions. Wanna believe in the word that you've spoken. I swear I try, but I'm falling short. So take my life, Jesus, I'm all yours. I don't wanna waste my time listening to all the lies. Love is patient, love is kind, never failing. Love is gone. I know the way that it goes. You're broken and feeling alone. Sometimes I feel skeletons in my closet. I'm just so exhausted, feeling like I lost it. Used to believe what I could see, followed the world, they lied to me. Breath in my lungs, I can breathe. I can't believe that you died for me. I don't deserve it, so far from perfect. World said I'm worthless, but you say I'm worth it. Yeah. Hey. I know the way that it goes. You're broken and feeling alone. Sometimes I'm feeling like I might have left me. Holding my chest, take a breath, I feel empty. But I promise you'll never let go. And I promise you're never alone. I put aside what the world had to offer. I found real love in the arms of the Father.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to Grace Community Church. I'm going to have these guys, we're going to take a few minutes to recap our trip for you, and I'm sure there will be some good laughs, but hopefully we'll also get to hear a little bit about how God works. So introduce yourself, and then just pass the mic down.
Hi, I'm Kaylee.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm also Sarah.
Hi, I'm Derek.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
Hi, I'm Josiah.
My name is Ben.
I'm Laura.
All right, so we're missing a few, but this is the most of our team, and so what we're going to do, I'm just going to ask some questions, and if you want to answer, and I hope some of you do want to answer, then I'll give you the mic. So we serve with a group called the Philadelphia Project. The Philadelphia Project is cool because they don't really do ministry themselves. They work with a bunch of existing ministries that were already working in Philadelphia, and they just partner with them and help serve them with teens throughout the summer. So it was a great opportunity. So would any of you like to share? Well, we went to two different sites. So do you remember the name of the site that you went to?
Roxborough Church.
And Ben, do you remember the site of the name? Oh, sorry, same site. Derek, do you remember? Yeah, it was Atonement. So we went to two different churches. We did day camps. We worked with kids at both those places. So the first question is, before we get into the day camps, why did you want to go on this trip?
I wanted to go on this trip because I really wanted God to speak to me. I've been struggling with different things, and it was a really good opportunity to learn how to help others as well as learning to listen to God and follow what He wants of me.
I went on this trip because I knew that it would be nice to get away from the house and spend some time with God as well. Especially because there wasn't that great of Wi-Fi. I wasn't really on my phone that much, so that got me less addicted.
So in our pre-trip meetings, I asked this question, why do you want to go on this trip? And there were some very honest and unique answers. ranging from I want to get out of the house to my parents are making me to just lots of honest, to Sarah's answer, I want to go and see what God's going to do, so lots of honest answers. What was your favorite part of the ministry site or your favorite person at your ministry site? Let's see if anybody else wants to go first.
Okay, so my favorite part was that we went to the same site every day, so we got to form a connection with the kids, and by the last day we were super close with the kids, and it was really fun to joke around with them, and they really connected with us. So.
I liked playing Gaga Ball with them, specifically the one kid's name. Can I mention names? The one kid's name, his name was Isaiah. He was a bit of a troublemaker and wouldn't listen too much, but he was still really fun to play with and talk to.
All right, anybody else?
I got really attached to the kids there. They had their own group thing going on. It was really cool. They had a micro society at Roxborough Church where they would have the kids own different shops and businesses, and it was really cool seeing how they interacted with each other and how they integrated a worship time in there. It was just really cool. I loved hanging out with the kids.
All right, next. Every night we had a thing called Club, and at Club we played some fun games. You might have seen the one part of the video where there were pool toys going back and forth. That was fun, just some goofy stuff we did. We also had a time of worship each night, and we also had a speaker that spoke each night. I don't know if anybody else would mention this, but you saw one picture where the speaker was outside, he was on a giant log, and everybody was listening to him. That's because 2 different nights, 2 out of the 3 nights that he spoke, the fire alarm went off during his lesson, and we had to evacuate the building. So mid-lesson, he went outside, he caught up on top of that big stump, and he just continued to preach his lesson, so it was pretty cool. But my next question is, from Club or just in general, share something that God taught you or how you saw God at work that week. Something God taught you or how you saw God at work.
Mine's very deep. Okay, so he was talking about idols and how different things can be idols, and just kind of asking all of us to reflect and be do you have an idol in your life? Do you think there's something that you're prioritizing above God? And I was reflecting, and this is a personal thing for me, and I realized that sometimes holding on to the past can be an idol. You can put that above God, you'll go to that instead of God. And it was just a time for me to reflect and realize that I need to turn to God more than I'm turning to the past.
Anyone else? Something God taught you or something you learned?
One part that I really liked about Club was every night they had a different worship team. So we got to experience a lot of different styles of music, and it was fun to see how worship can be used through different people.
Anybody else? Yeah, one of the neat things about this opportunity is it was a missions trip, and they got to serve during the day, but they also had the opportunity each night to worship and to learn from God's word. So that was really, really neat. I appreciated that. Pastor Shane gave me some of these bracelets before we left, and it's from Cru, which used to be called Campus Crusade for Christ. Now they just call themselves Cru. But it's basically a way to share the gospel. It's kind of like the old colored book, but there's no colors, and there's just 4 symbols. It's a heart, a division sign, a cross, and a question mark. And I know that at least 3 or 4 of us had the opportunity to share the gospel using these throughout the week, so that was pretty amazing as well. If you want these, Pastor Shan may have some more that you could get a hold of. They're on the back table. And so even if, for me, it was as much a reminder, for me it was as much about reminding me when it was on my wrist, hey, share the gospel, as it was a tool to share the gospel. So maybe you use it as a tool to share the gospel with the people in your life, or maybe it's just as a reminder, hey, I should be sharing the gospel with people. All right, last question. Would you go again, or would you go again on any mission trip after this experience, or why would you encourage somebody out here in the audience to go on a mission trip? First of all, let's do a little interaction. If you're in the audience and you've ever been on a mission trip, raise your hand. All right, so a lot of us have, some of us haven't. So would you go again? And if there's people out there who've never gone, why would you encourage them to go on a missions trip?
I would highly encourage that you guys go again, because I definitely would. I would go on as many as I can. It's really such a time where you're tested in different areas. Like, it was weird for me, and Joey spoke out about it a bit too. No Wi-Fi. I mean, I'm a teenager, I need Wi-Fi. But it was interesting not having that and just kind of being separated from that and being able to really focus on God. And I think that's something that everybody should have in their lifetime, just a time where they're tested in this different way and they're called to help somebody out.
Oh, I didn't realize there were so many teenagers without data plans. It's good. It's good to go without internet for a little while. Anybody else? Would you go again, and why would you encourage someone to go?
I would definitely go again. This was my first official missions trip, and it was really fun, and it was just cool because I went in thinking, oh, this is going to be a great time for me to connect to God, but it wasn't just me. It was also watching the kids, because we had a little worship thing that we would do in the chapel with the kids every day, and it was really cool to just see them sing along, even if some of them didn't really want to. But it was really cool to see them interacting. We were doing the Fruits of the Spirit at my camp, so it's just really cool to see them actually get involved and want to know more.
All right, last chance. Anything else anybody would like to say about that question, or just in general, and about the experience? What? Sure.
I think it was also really good for us as teenagers to kind of grow together and have some time to hang out. We had this one night that we were supposed to have a night on the town, but it didn't happen, so we went out on our own anyways. And we just kind of explored some of Philadelphia, and it was just really fun hanging out with each other and talking about all sorts of different things.
Yeah, there were actually 5 other groups there, and there were some from very close. There was one from the suburbs of Philadelphia. There was a couple groups from central Pennsylvania like us, and then there was a group from Chicago, and there was actually a group from South Dakota that came the whole way to Philadelphia for a 4-day missions trip, 4 or 5-day mission trip. So that was pretty interesting, amazing. Yeah, I think that's it. So thanks. I'm so glad you guys all went, and we're thankful to you guys. A lot of you guys prayed for us. A lot of you guys made donations for us to go on this trip, so we're really thankful for the opportunity, and we appreciate it. So thanks. You guys can have a seat.